Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated here on the Rich Eisen Show. What happens with Anthony Davis is going to be paramount, and he essentially said on NBA TV it could be anybody. Everybody's on his list except New Orleans right now, and that anything can possibly happen. The only thing that we know for sure is he's out of New Orleans, and when he does it, it's going to be a very nice Instagram farewell as well, Chris. This is basically what he said.
Yes, that's big in the 21st century.
Yes, it is.
Davis did double back, Rich, on and said all 29 teams, but I took his original comments that he said to the assembled media that Boston was on the list as being closer to the truth, only because, being around the organization a lot, the Celtics have always been pretty confident that if they retain Kyrie Irving, that Anthony Davis is going to want to play there. Now, if Kyrie goes, they may not even make a full-fledged pitch to Anthony Davis or for Anthony Davis, because that won't be the direction the team wants to go. But if they can retain Kyrie, they've always been really confident, and they've done a lot of research on this guy over the last 18 months. They've always been really confident that Anthony Davis wants to play with Kyrie Irving and wants to play for a winner, and Boston offers both.
Well, and so, let's just say something like that happens. Why was Dell Demps fired, Chris? How is this his fault? How is this laid at his feet right now in New Orleans?
Well, look, the current situation, maybe not Dell, but remember, he's been there for like 7-8 years. And, for the entire Anthony Davis tenure. And he's traded away draft picks. He's made some bad draft picks. He's made some bad contract signings. I don't know that Dell's, this was an Anthony Davis and his team-led effort to kind of force this whole mess that it turned out to be. But up until this point, the reason Anthony Davis, or big reason Anthony Davis wants out, is because this team they haven't built a winner around it. And that to me was the big reason why Dell was let go. And I said this weeks ago, that if you're going to trade Anthony Davis, you either have to commit to Dell Demps or find somebody else, because you do not want somebody making a Herschel Walker type of deal that could revamp your franchise or screw it up forever. You don't want that person to be a temporary guy.
Yeah, but who's going to raise their hand and say, I'll take the job trading Anthony Davis and then deal with the
I think there's
leftovers?
I think there's going to be a lot of people, Rich.
You do?
I really think there's going to be a lot of people. Because look, on the surface, it's not a great job. But I made the Herschel Walker, comparison. Look what the Dallas Cowboys turned out to be after making that deal. You're going to get back the most substantial trade package in NBA history. At least you should. In terms of players, draft picks, cap relief, you're going to have a chance to revamp your team with the assets Anthony Davis gets, to the point where this Pelicans team, if this deal's done right, they could be in the playoffs in a couple of years, and they could be trending towards a winning situation in a few years. So I think the job's a lot more appealing than people think. Okay,
and do you think they end up getting a better deal than the one that the Lakers put on the table?
If they don't, they'll get the exact same deal. The Lakers aren't going to, screw around with this, and if they think Boston's out, look at what could happen before a Laker deal gets consummated. What if Kawhi Leonard decides to stay in Toronto? Is that going to embolden another team? Maybe it's Chicago. Anthony Davis is from the area. Maybe Chicago says, look, we'll put Lauri Markkanen and Chris Dunn and a few draft picks into it. You don't want to roll the dice if you're the Lakers. So at a bare minimum, Rich, yeah, I think it's going to be the exact same offer, if not stronger, if the Pelicans play it right.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.